Lafifi, as she should be. She's going for 19 straight tonight. She is aiming to register her 23rd career win. She's just a wonderful, wonderful filly, and I'm not sure that I can say anything about her that hasn't already been said over and over again. She is a champion juvenile. I guess the interesting part of this race is whether or not Peter Morris on Ashley's Babe, who looks as though she'll cross down to the pegs first, will let Lombo Lafifi go. If she does let Lombo Lafifi go, it's an absolute moral quinella. They will run 1-2 quite easily, I would have thought. If he, however, Peter decides to hold Lombo Lafifi at the start and make her earn a win, then horses like Dana Bromack and Weeman Wendy may come into the equation for the placings much stronger than maybe they will be if it's Lombo Lafifi in front and Ashley's Babe following. $1.20 now for Lombo Lafifi. $4.90 for Ashley's Babe, and that's pretty comparable to what's happening with bookmakers on track. I've put them in order of 5, 4, 1 and 9. Dana Bromack will keep up okay from the pole, and Weeman Wendy May, who you might remember stretched Lombo Lafifi in, might have been a heat of the gold maybe, or going back. It was a feature race here at Harold Park anyway, and she has got probably the closest to Lombo Lafifi a horse has in a long time. But from barrier 9 she faces an awfully hard task. I did put her in for 4th. Let's hope it's a good race. She hasn't been stretched for a while, Lombo Lafifi, and well, this is the first time in a long time she's even been $1.20, I suppose, excluding New Zealand, of course, where she went over there in the Oaks and she was about $1.60. But certainly on Australian soil, she's been $1.10 or money back for most of her runs in recent times. Here's Kevin Thompson for tonight's feature, the Sky Channel Princess Smile.
Darren Benskin's out of the sulky at the moment. Forward, second line, Trudy, Sophie Mack, Weeman, Wendy May, and they're all set. Ready now for the Princess Smile. There's the light on, they're off. Ashley's Babe has come out pretty fast. Lombo Lafifi is going with her out of the gate. Enraptured near the inside. Will be easing to take a trail on the two favourites, and as they go out of the straight, it's Ashley's Babe holding the leader out. Lombo Lafifi can't cross, and she'll lead Ashley's Babe. Enraptured goes through to trail a leader, then Dana Bromack. Weeman Wendy May into the 1-1. Lilydale 3 wide, and then Trudy and Sophie Mack about 3 lengths away then to Patira, who's a clear second last, and Bootylicious is back last of all. Well, Ashley's Babe has kept the lead from Lombo Lafifi. Third a neck away on the inside behind the leader is Enraptured. Weeman Wendy May has won around Dana Bromack. A length away to Trudy and then Sophie Mack. Lilydale 3 wide being taken back to the tail with Patira and Bootylicious. First quarter 29.8. Ashley's Babe the leader by a length on the outside without cover. Lombo Lafifi leaders back Enraptured. Weeman Wendy May has won and then Dana Bromack on the inside, a length to Trudy around Sophie Mack. Patira's third last, second last then Bootylicious, and 2 lengths away is Lilydale. There's the bell now. They've got a lap to go. Ashley's Babe in front of Lombo Lafifi on the outside. Leaders back, third Enraptured. Fourth then is Weeman Wendy May. A length to Dana Bromack on the inside of Trudy. Then Sophie Mack. A long way back then on the outside, turning to the back, Patira from Lilydale. And Bootylicious last. 30.8 the second quarter. 60.6 the half. Ashley's Babe in front down the back. She leads out about 3/4 of a length. Lombo Lafifi on the outside. Leaders back then, third Enraptured, and then Weeman Wendy May linked to Dana Bromack, and on the outside of it next was Trudy as they run past that quarter in 29.4. Ashley's Babe a length and a half. By geez, had to get to work quickly on Lombo Lafifi. Ashley's Babe's found 2 lengths on her. Up on the inside, and Enraptured's in fact gone past Lombo Lafifi. Then Weeman Wendy May and Dana Bromack, but Ashley's Babe has shot away. 3 lengths in front of Enraptured. Lombo Lafifi won't run a place. Dana Bromack's gone past her, and Ashley's Babe 7 out of 7, and here's an upset in the Princess Mile, and she's a good filly. She wins the Princess Mile by 4 lengths. Tight for second, Enraptured or Weeman Wendy May, and then Dana Bromack, Sophie Mack, followed in by Patira, Lombo Lafifi. Well, there's a shock. Going for 19 in a row tonight. She's finished about 7th from Trudy, Bootylicious, and last to finish is Lilydale. Final quarter 28.2 on the rate 157.3.
You'd have to suggest all is not well with Lombo Lafifi. But all honours with Ashley's Babe. Brilliant performance. $4 and 1.20. Photo for the miners. We'll confirm those numbers shortly. Gloucester Park Race 1. Night Watchman $1.50 and Super Dave at $4.70. They are the top 2 in the market.
I think the locals playing a big part. Peter Manning has 3 runners in the race. Andy Gath has 2. And all with second to none chances. Now in the queue, just getting a lead forward on the front so they can get that 10-metre tape across for the good guy. Close to a start. Lagoon Lady at 2:20 will run the clear favourite on Super Tab as the 10-metre tape being brought across. Race has been won by a stack of good horses over the years. Living Angel won the race last year. She dominated the Country Cups. And Go Charles, who was dominating the Country Cups, won it the year before in 2001. The track is cleared for the renowned silverware Ararat Pacing Cup. All ready, set for a start. The tapes go back and they're on their journey. In the queue, just scrambled off the mark. Going out okay, Money Master in the pole with next door Dan's Mate. And charging across now Titanium Driver. But booting up as Money Master along the inside to keep the front to the first turn. Behind them third is Dan's Mate. Let's see Lagoon Lady. She was scratchily away. She's about 60 metres off the leader. But has them within her sights. Not as badly as what she messed it up in the Kilmore Cup. As they run into the back, Titanium Driver takes up the lead from Money Master. Third Dan's Mate underneath of in the queue. 10 metres back to the good guy who weaved through from the 10-metre mark. He's up into fifth position down the back the first time. 15 metres then to one of the back markers in Jillaby Magic. A long break of 20 metres to Mr. JKO, and Lagoon Lady was tardy to begin, but she's 12 metres away from Mr. JKO and still about 50 off the front. They swing around the turn now to where they started from a lap ago in the renowned silverware Ararat Pacing Cup, a field of 8. And the leader doing it comfortably now, Titanium Driver. Coming back to driver Glenn Gath. He's dropped the bit nicely. Up on the outside in the queue, running second in the breeze. The good guy, Jodie Quinlan, just popped off the inside to get the feelers whether in the queue was going to hand up the death, but she obviously decided that he wouldn't and jumped back into the 1-1 again. On the inside, Money Master in the all-white colours of the club, running fourth under a good hold. They've backed the pace off, so Lagoon Lady has caught them up without having to chase too hard at all. Three back on the outside, the big bloke, Dan's Mate, around Jillaby Magic, who's tacked onto the group. Three back, the Pegs. And the last pair, the two that messed up the start, Mr. JKO on the inside of the favourite Lagoon Lady. The cup field swing down the back again. The lead time was 1:18.6 seconds. And Titanium Driver is getting a comfortable run at the head of affairs. He has a neck to spare. On in the queue, running second. Now over on the inside, just dropping off the back of the leader a bit there, Money Master, as John Caldo tries to get him to settle. The good guy is fired up in the 1-1 and he's really hooked onto the steel. Jodie Quinlan having a tough job holding him up in the 1-1. Three back the outside, Dan's Mate. So the good guy has to be eased out 3 wide because he was pulling just way too hard. Three back the inside, Jillaby Magic back with Dan's Mate. They swing down the straight again, 32 the first quarter. The bell about to ring in the Ararat Cup. Lagoon Lady now has a 3-wide trail up on the back of her stablemate in the good guy, who's pulled his way up to third. Second last now is the other Peter Manning runner, Jillaby Magic. And last, Mr. JKO, just losing touch with the group as they hot up the pace. 31 seconds the second quarter. And they're about to sizzle home in the Ararat Cup. Leading the way, Titanium Driver. A neck in front of in the queue, who's trying to go up and give the leader the stare again. 3 wide, the good guy. A multiple Country Cups winner, but he's had a tough run tonight. He's reined up now. Dan's Mate, the middle's had a good trip, trying to work into the clear. Money Master's awaiting the sprint lane, but just reined up a little bit now as they've stepped it up another notch. Lagoon Lady, the favourite, 12 off the front, and we'll have to peel 4 and 5 wide on the corner from Jillaby Magic, and they've dropped off Mr. JKO. 29-3 the third quarter. Things hotting up in the renowned silverware Ararat Cup. Titanium Driver led back in the field. Lagoon Lady galloped. She's out of business. It's Titanium Driver setting sail for the judge from in the queue. The good guy battling on Dan's Mate. Titanium Driver's in front, getting a little bit weary, but he's holding a break. It's a winning break. Dan's Mate, his stablemate, charging on, but Titanium Driver all the way in the Ararat Cup. Wins it a neck to the stablemate, Dan's Mate. Third goes to win the queue, just ahead of Jillaby Magic, who flew home with the good guy. Just behind those was Money Master, Mr. JKO, and Lagoon Lady hopped off stride on the home turn. She was last in the Cup, the favourite, and 29-1 the last quarter. Titanium Driver leading from go to woe, making it an Andy Gath Quinella. 5, 3 and 4 the numbers up in the queue, getting third after sitting in the breeze. 5, 3, 4 on the renowned silverware Ararat Pacing Cup. 5 the winner, Titanium Driver, is able to lead them up. Glenn Gaff got him a very good run in the first lap and a half of the race. He nursed him up and he came back nicely, didn't over race at all. And with a slow first quarter, he was able to cut out a very solid last 1,200 metres, giving those horses back in the field no hope of catching him. Dan's Mate Switch back to the inside to get a clear passage in the straight. He certainly finished the race off hard, but the post has loomed up too close for him, with Titanium Driver winning. By Soki's Adam from Canapalia Ace, a bay gelding, a 5-year-old. Not a big horse, but he's got a great engine. Raced by Arnolda, Andy Gath, the Great Western, the trainer, and Glenn Gath, the driver. Second home going to Dan's Mate, number 3, by Son of a Fella from Cousin, a bay gelding, a 6-year-old. Andy Gath, the Great Western, the trainer, Michael Bellman, the driver, so a stable Quinella. And in the queue by bookmaker from Flick a Dollar, a bay gelding, a 6-year-old, Kevin Bruff from Haywood, the trainer driver. 8 fourth, the good guy, Jody Quinlan. 9 was officially 5th in, Jillaby Magic, Peter Craven. The overall time, 3:20.1. We're just awaiting the mile rate to be semaphore. And the last mile in the Cup was 2:1.5, 58 for the half, and 1.5 by 1 3/4. And the mile rate we're awaiting, 2:5.3, the mile rate. The tote dividends up. Titanium Driver number 5 has paid $9 for the win, $2.40 for the place. Second, Dan's Mate number 3 paying $2 neat, and in the queue number 4 paying $2.10.
At Gawler, so numbers as they stand, and I believe we do have the all clear signal up. Gloucester Park. We might have another look at the updated markets for that shortly. It'll be the running of race 5, the feature event this evening, the Australian Pacing Championship. And we've got the likes of Manifold Bay taking on the Best of the West. The Sockie's Raider hard to beat from the 1. The Mobile start this race over the 2140 metres. And it's been racing in career best form. It is resuming from a break, but has clocked together some exciting mile rates, that's for sure. Now you'll see Manifold Bay firming. You'd expect that. $2.90. It is a rating special. They are running slightly late here, punters, if you're wondering. He's taken on some of the best in the land, the 5 Manifold Bay, in its short racing career. It's only a 5-year-old. It's had 38 lifetime starts for 24 wins and 8 minor placings. A son of great sire, safely kept, and it was a last start winner at Gloucester Park.
Went second to the Falcon Strike in the McInerney Ford Classic as a 4-year-old. He then went on and reversed that decision in the Golden Nugget. He won the WA Derby a year earlier. He's won last Friday night in fast class here in WA. He's a visitor every year. And here he is again in a Grand Circuit race now. The Group 1 Australian Pacing Championship. Manifold Bay, good to see him here. And his driver Gavin Lang, trainer Grant Crane and owner. Against a wonderful field. Now old Shattering has been left out of the score-up. Backers of him won't like that. And the rest of them walked up to the barrier and immediately turned around because the entire back line is out of position as well. So this race already some 5 minutes behind time, will be even later now.
Bay is still the favourite at $2.80. Sockie's Raider. The gates rolling. Here's John.
This is the 4th edition of the race in Western Australia. All 3 previous times it's been won by WA Pacers. Manifold Bay out to upset that. The green light's on, they're racing, and Shattering Class won the start. He won it easily. JT Warwick happy to let him go with Soki's Raider. He takes the trail. Meggie Deer goes forward. Manifold Bay is just holding up about 5th. Striking Fella showed some gates beaten. Another party drives through from the back line. Okay, end of a couple of 100 metres. The 11-year-old's on top. It's Shattering Class, the leader in the APC. The mare, Meggie Deer, around the outside to the breeze. Now Manifold Bay's out there 3 deep. What's he going to do, Lang? He's going to press forward. He'll go up and try and get around Meggie Deer. And looks like Quarterpassi might let him go. Benjiman's 3 and 4 deep around them. Now Soki's Raider tried to get off the inside there and squeeze between Shattering Class and Meggie Deer. That was interesting. Couldn't find the room and ended up going back to the pegs. So it's on for young and old early. Shattering Class is the leader. Now Benjiman's gone up in front of all of them to the breeze. Manifold Bay reins back. He does get the 1-1. Soki's Raider again back on the pegs, and then Meggie Deer now 1 out and 2 back. Messiah 3 back the inside, and then Striking Fella. Chivalrous Fella on the inside of another party. A length and a half to the 4-year-old back in a Falcon. Golden Gears on the inside of Golden Resonator, and they are the last pair. The lead time was very slow. It was cat and mouse at 39 seconds, and then they up-tempoed when all that happened. The first quarter of the last mile in 29.5, and the grand old champ Shattering Class is the leader. Benjamin on the outside is keeping him honest, and here's another party letting go 3 wide. Back of the leader, Soki's Raider. Manifold Bay, the Vic in the middle. 3 deep back in a Falcon. Tracks another party into the race at the bell. Messiah buried inside Meggie Deer. 3 wide Golden Resonator. Then Chivalrous Fella, Striking Fella. Golden Gears is looking at the whole herd. That quarter in 31. Shattering Class got a little bit of a breather. The half in 60.5. They race inside the 600. Shattering Class, can he keep going? He is joined again by Benji Man on the outside. Another party is a half length away and 3 wide running on gamely. Soki's Raider, the little chestnut's full of running. He's just waiting on a clear crack at them. Manifold Bay's in gridlock. He's in between horses all over the place. Back in a Falcon around his outside. And then Messiah and Golden Resonator and Meggie Deer. Down the back in 28.7. Shattering Class headed by Benji Man. Another party still there. Here's Back in a Falcon 4 wide. He can't find a run on Soki's Raider. In the straight, Benji Man the leader. Here's Terry Ferguson winding up Back in a Falcon. Oh my Lord, what a moment for Terry. Back in a Falcon takes the lead and wins the Australian Pacing Championship. He beat Benji Man and another party. Manifold Bay and Soki's Raider had no luck at all. Meggie Deer was next in, followed him by Messiah, Striking Fella, Golden Gears, Chivalrous Fella, Golden Resonator, Shattering Class. Unfortunately, has finished at the tail of the field. The last quarter in 29, the last half 57.7. $28 on the TAB too. Back in a Falcon, he'll be able to buy a roller after that. Well, maybe not a roller. Number 12, Back in a Falcon is first. Trained and driven by Terry Ferguson. What an incredible moment. As I was saying in the score-up, he's never driven this horse before, which he trains and owns. It's always been the drive for Lindsay Harper, and if not Lindsay, Gary Hall Jr. Lindsay, of course, took Shattering Class to the races tonight, and Gary Hall Jr. took the drive on his dad's horse, Benji Man. And Terry decided to drive Back in a Falcon himself, and he has driven it with the poise of a master. Brought him with a beautifully timed run, and he has swept down the outside and beaten the lot of them. His first drive on Back in a Falcon. It is Back in a Falcon's first feature win of any description. He has never won a feature race, and tonight he's won a Grand Circuit race, and of course it's Terry's first drive in a Grand Circuit race. So this is an amazing story. A 4-year-old Back in a Falcon has beaten 6 Benji Man, trained by Gary Hall Sr., driven by Gary Hall Jr., brave in defeat. He's been one of the finds of the last year in WA harness racing. And old another party, there's life in the Warhorse yet, and what a run. He was 3 deep about the last 1,000 metres or more maybe, and he has just kept on coming. Another party is run third, trained by Mike Reed, driven by Mark Reed. 4th, Manifold Bay, number 5, trained by Grant Crane, driven by Gavin Lang. He didn't have much luck. He was cramped up between horses. And Meggie Deer has got 5th, number 4. She's run on out of the ruck, trained by Jerry Harney, driven by Aldo Cortopassi. Soki's Raider, he got cramped up badly when Shattering Class tired. Shattering Class normally drifts up the track and allows the rails run, but I think this time he was wobbling about a bit, and Soki's Raider just seemed to get very badly balked. And after trying to get off the rails early, that was a very interesting move. He tried to squeeze between Shattering Class and Meggie Deer, and he nearly got there, but got pushed back in. And from that point on, he was bailed up, and then never really got a look at them. So that was the end of Soki's Raider. So from a spectacle point of view, I suppose the disappointment was Soki's Raider and Manifold Bay never really got much of a look. But what a wonderful story from Terry Ferguson and Back in a Falcon. Raced, trained and driven by Terry Ferguson. Back in a Falcon's a Black Horse 4 by Falcon Silster out of Walk in the Line. 26 starts, 16 wins, 4 placings, but never won a feature. And his stakes after tonight nevertheless go to about $138,000 as All Clear is notified. He finished 3rd in the McInerney Ford and 5th in the Golden Nugget. And or the other way round, yes, 5th in the Golden Nugget and 3rd in the McInerney Ford, and 8th in the Country Cup prior to that. But either side of that, he'd won 9 straight, and then he's won 4 straight now since those 3 races. So there's no doubting his class. And he is a horse, as I've said many times, knows where the line is back in a Falcon. You get him in a photo and you can back him in.
Great scenes on the track at Gloucester Park, where 12 Back in a Falcon taking up the Australian Pacing Championship at $28.540. And have a look at those trifecta divvies. Super Tab returning 4,826. They've gone a mile rate of 158.4, 12.6, and it was great to see the old timer Another Party run into a drum. That was the 5th event from Gloucester Park, the feature, the Australian Pacing Championship. Now the totes are official on the
Miles,